I'll just use this one. Yeah, I'll use this take. Normally, when I realize the microphone's on the floor, I'm like, take two, but nah. So I'm watching Stone Cold from a 1994 Halloween Havoc against Hacksaw Jim Duggan. They show, of course, background on the matches. And I'd forgotten how laughably bad this was. So Hacksaw comes in as a surprise challenger for Stone Cold, who's now wrestling as Stunning Steve. And, of course, Hacksaw beat him in like a second and a half. And all he did was just basically throw him on the ground and pin him. So it takes no moves to pin Steve Austin. They clearly thought a lot of Steve Austin. So now they're fighting. And you can tell. And Hacksaw was always a guy that was all about energy and interacting with the crowd. And not as much about wrestling. I think I've seen two moves. It's all punches, kicks, and clotheslines. And this is when WCW was starting to buy the WWE guys, and you could tell they were burying the talent that had been there. Steve Austin, very good, smart young wrestler. And they have him in a feud with Duggan. And while I like Duggan, I'm going to say that too. Hacksaw never got a title in the time he was in WWE, and I never understood it. And the thing I never understood either was, I'm old enough to remember before Jim Duggan was in WWE, and he was in UWF. I remember him fighting with One Man Gang, not Akeem, One Man Gang. I remember them having a big feud in UWF, which was run out of Florida. And Hacksaw, what got me with him was, he was brutal. He was vicious. Then he goes to WWE and he's this smiling idiot with the 2x4 and giving the thumbs up all the time. It worked, it got over, but I could never understand why WWE didn't want the badass that Duggan was. And Duggan was perfectly capable of playing a badass. And I guess when he got there, it's like, well, we'll give you a title. I know these were all guaranteed contracts. So this is after Hogan got in there. Duggan got in there. This is before Savage. They have this stupid storyline where Hulk Hogan's knee's all buggered up by Ric Flair, and there's two guys in masks saving him. Two guys in masks helping Flair. I don't even remember that storyline. That's how memorable it is. But, you know, Tony Schiavone and Bobby Heenan, and I have to say right out, Tony Schiavone was always underrated as an announcer. He took a lot of crap for things that he said in WCW that he would not necessarily have said, but Bischoff told him to say. He was a decent announcer, and I don't think he got credit for that. And Heenan, the best color guy ever. Heenan, absolutely, easily the best color guy ever in wrestling. But of WCW's events, Halloween Havoc gets a lot of love from people, and I get why. Part of the reason that I subscribe to get the network back is because War Games is going to be on NXT. And it looks like they're booking it right. War Games is tricky, because War Games can just turn into a schmoz. But if it's done right, it can be something really, really good. Oh, God, this is when WCW disqualified people for throwing them over the top rope. Oh! And this is after they had a 15-minute time limit between Honky Tonk Man and Johnny B. Bad, later Mark Merrill, and that went the full 15. Can you imagine this today? Can you imagine a guy getting disqualified for throwing somebody over the top rope? And can you imagine... Ugh. Yeah, can you imagine a 15-minute draw now? 15 minutes. Fans would go nuts. WWE fans would go nuts. So they jobbed Steve Austin over to Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh my god. This was 23 years ago and I'm still just baffled. WCW's booking made no sense. It was all factions. Yeah, see, stunning Steve Austin walking through the screen behind you and not getting an interview after he loses a match, big mistake. Steve Austin, even back then, you could see he was going to be a star. I didn't like Steve Austin back then, but I could see he had the look, he had the talent, and I could never understand why they didn't push him either. Which made him a non-threat. They made it so that Steve Austin, who had become the biggest name in wrestling history, was just not a threat. He didn't take him credibly. He didn't take him as a credible threat. So when he went to... Oh, God, they're going to interview Hacksaw instead of Steve Austin? Oh, God, this gets worse. Oh, Sting. Okay. Wait, so Gene Okerlund is doing the... Oh, okay. Oh, it's Happy Sting. It's before he got the black face paint and was Angry Sting. Sting, 20 years from now, you're going to get jobbed over to Triple H in the only wrestling match you'll have in WWE. How does that make you feel? Lead wrestling right on until the 90s. This was Halloween Havoc 1994. Which 90s was he talking about? 2190? They're hanging from the rafters? Oh, please tell me he's not talking about Harlem Heat. Bobby Heenan's got the neck collar, too. Heenan's jackets were always amazing. Very sparkly. Heenan he enjoyed what he did. And the sad thing is, as his time in WCW went along, he enjoyed it less and less and less, and you could tell he enjoyed it less and less and less. Vader, the most disrespected legend in wrestling history. This is why, and I said this in my last video, if you're willing to do business, meaning if you're willing to lay down for another guy, if you're willing to take the loss, you are gonna get buried. Vader was always willing to take a loss if it was there, and yeah. Oh, he was in a feud with the Big Boss Man. Ray Traylor, one of the nicest guys, absolutely one of the nicest. This is when he was the Guardian Angel. So stupid. But one of the nicest guys, not a great wrestler, big guy. He though was never one of my favorite wrestlers. Just not. No, you can't ring the bell because you see him holding a weapon if you didn't see him use it. Oh my God, WCW. You can't disqualify a guy because you think he used a weapon. I don't get it. Well, no, now the referee gets clotheslined in this part of the package, so clearly he has to call for the bell again, doesn't he? Or is this a, if I see you holding a weapon, you get disqualified, but if you run me over, well, that happened, but I can't verify you ran me over. Okay, why is he wearing his shirt off the shoulder like that? That's disturbing there, Ray Traylor. It's just this schmoz of highlights that don't tell me anything. Other than these guys bump into each other a lot. This is just so sad. Like, Vader could really move for a big man. If Vader was a rookie now, what would he have been able to do? A guy that big that can move like that, it would be, Vince would go nuts right now. He didn't when Vader was there back then, because when Vader was in his run with WWE, that's when WWE was enamored with Shawn Michaels and getting the smaller guys that could move into the main event picture, getting away from the bigger guys. Do you know the funny thing too? Anytime that like here, Bobby Heenan's arguing that Bray Trailer, Big Boss Man, that he's being a hypocrite because he's getting ready to hit Harley Race with a chair after handcuffing him. He's right. That is hypocritical. That is hypocritical. The funniest thing with him is that Bobby Heenan was bad and he made you boo him, but he's usually right. Like, Hogan was the worst for cheating. Hogan got disqualified all the time. Hogan hit guys with chairs. Hogan he smashed people into steel posts all the time. He did things that should have got him disqualified all the time. And Bobby Heenan would call him out on it. Like, I don't know why the crowd's cheering, because, his opponent does it. Like if it was King Kong Bundy, whoever. He does it, and he gets booed. Hogan does it, and they love it. And it's true. Hogan wrestled the entire time he was around as if he was a bad guy, except he'd play to the crowd. He cheated. He got disqualified. He'd get mad and frustrated and bring in a chair and smack it. And it's like, wait, what? I still remember when he came in and smacked Andre with a chair. WrestleMania. Jeez, was that 4? That was WrestleMania 4. That was the big tournament. I remember him hitting Andre with the chair and getting... Then they made it a double DQ because then Andre got a chair and smacked him with it. And I'm like, wait, that's not how disqualifications work. That's not it at all. Hogan's disqualified. Andre's moving on. This is ridiculous. I just... But I mean, Vader was legit a big guy, and you can see Harley Race here as his manager. And I mean, putting a guy with Harley Race, who at the time was, a huge legend in wrestling, just it meant the WCW believed in him, whereas when he went to WWE, they didn't. They never put the title on him. I was always surprised by that. He doesn't like the idea of Sting sitting next to him. Keeps turning around to look at Sting. He doesn't like it. I love Heenan. Absolutely love Heenan. Yeah, I don't like him being there. I don't like it. And Muhammad Ali was in the crowd. And Vader's playing to him. That must have been nice for him. Really? He attacks Harley Race before the match? What? And Harley Race is wearing a shirt that on the back says Vader Race. I want to see a guy in a Darth Vader shirt, or Darth Vader costume wearing Vader Race. Darth Vader the Master Race. That'd be hilarious. Heenan's right. He's pointing out the guy attacks Harley Race. He handcuffed Race to a ring post. He went to hit him with a chair. Why is he the good guy in this? He attacks an old man repeatedly rather than his opponent. And then when Vader gets in the ring, Ray Traylor stands and looks at him. That's so weird. That's how booking doesn't work. It's so weird. The slap didn't hurt him and he didn't want it to? What? Yeah, I don't know. WCW, Halloween Havoc. Wow. So question for you guys, while I'm watching this and I've got the network, do you guys want me to review old WWE stuff? Like events? Talk about WCW and why I never watched. This was around the time that I stopped watching WCW, that I gave up. And I just exclusively watched WWE. And even during the Monday Night Wars, I very rarely watched WCW. I basically watched WCW for Goldberg. And as soon as Goldberg was done, I would turn the channel. But this is so baffling. The match, even the way the match is being wrestled, is baffling. What? I don't. Okay, all right. I'm gonna end this here. Just let me know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you're a wrestling fan, because we got stuff to talk about. I'm very slowly getting my wife acclimated to wrestling and how it works, and explaining things like booking and why people have championships. I had to try to explain this to her, because she said, well, do they matter? And I said, not always. She said, so why do they have them? And I was like, well, because you have your champs. And she said, but isn't it, it's scripted? Yes, but the championship means something. So I had to explain it to her, and I'm still trying to explain this stuff to her. And by watching the old stuff and showing her some of the old stuff, it's giving her an idea of how it works. And it is a male soap opera. Wrestling is a male soap opera, and men that don't admit it's a soap opera are just in denial. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'm just having one of those days. YouTube's been buggering my other channel. So I figured, you know what the hell? Anytime my channel gets buggered, I usually just fire up the webcam a bunch of times to try to kind of offset the damage. And you guys get more video. What? He's beating up Harley Race again? No, that's bad guy stuff. And again, it's just all not wrestling moves. And again, Ray Traylor may have been the greatest guy, nicest guy, and I've never heard anybody say anything otherwise. And in wrestling, if you were not a nice guy, people would talk about it. Vader had a shoot interview where he talked about how much he didn't like Shawn Michaels back during that. And Jim Cornette's been very outspoken about the Shawn Michaels Vader feud and how Shawn buried Vader, and that wasn't fair. And it was all because Vader was willing to do as Shawn asked, and then Shawn still yelled at him during a match, visibly said really nasty stuff to him during the match. You can hear it. And yeah, that was fun. So yeah, the only thing, like, I know hockey. Wrestling I know just as well as I know hockey, because I watched AWA, I watched UWF, I watched NWA before it became WCW, I watched WWF back in 1984. No, he missed that. He missed that. Don't sell it, he missed it. I hate it when you see a guy miss a kick and it's really obvious the guy's still, ugh! Hate that. It's like, don't sell it when he misses it. Shake your finger at him. Improvise. But yeah, I know a lot of wrestling. I used to watch Stampede too, and All Star, and wrestling's fun. It's a lot of fun. So, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys again soon. I'm going to change the channel as soon as I'm recording, because this match has just put me off the rest of the show. This is just stupid. Just stupid. Oh, that was so sloppy. All right, I'm done.